Got a lot of buzz running around Fayetteville right now. I think all 5 teams, all 5 programs won yesterday. And I think we got a big baseball crowd out there right now, from what I understand. And I'm not going to keep y'all long, let y'all get on down to that baseball game. That's where I'm going to try to wind up at some point. But, man, a lot of buzz. You know, everybody wants to be a part of a winning program. And we just hope we can keep building off of the other programs and what's going on. Had a chance to spend some time yesterday with, I went and watched a little bit of baseball and watched the gymnastics last night, and just the energy level is incredible. And we're just doing our part. We're going to try to continue to raise the bar. Very pleased today and first day of pads. First chance for these guys to get back in pads, I guess, since before Thanksgiving. And did some good things. You know, we really did. We did some good things. We ran a 2-minute drill right there at the end, and did some had some success on both sides of the ball. But you know, overall, I thought our energy level at first, I didn't know if we was going to have to recheck it and send them back in and see if we're going to restretch it again and see if they were going to bring that energy like I wanted it. But they responded, they rebounded, and it's all about the finish. And we finished well. We finished well today at practice. We strained them. The last part of our practice was the hardest part, and it was by design. And so we're straining them and training them, and that's what this thing's about. But you know, overall, I was pleased coming out of day 2, especially getting them jumping into pads, going live as we did, as early on as we did today. There were some good things. Did a little one-on-one stuff, and we'll continue to build on that. But overall, you know, offense install is extremely slow. They're trying to play fast, but they're thinking. And when you think, it's hard to play fast. It's got to come natural to you. And so we, by design, are they're drinking out of a fire hose. And that's by design, and we're going to continue. We got one more heavy day of install, and at that point, then we'll pull back. But you know, we got to get better in that regard. But overall, the want to is there, and they're having fun out there. The coaches are flying around, and guys are being coached, and the energy level is extremely high, and we can do a lot off of that. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
Coach, anybody jump out to you today?
Yeah, you know, Santos, you know, that really probably shouldn't surprise me. I mean, I know he's one of the best players in the league, if not in all the country, and he's doing some great things. Sosa had a good day. Just his energy level, his motor runs high. And Randy Ramsey did some good things defensively. I was really pleased with him. Again, learning what Chief is asking of him. There's several others. Nate Dalton did some good things at corner, but offensively, you know, Malik Barkley making the transition to running back, had a couple of breaks today. You saw some quickness, some acceleration out of him. Long way away. He's got to learn the system more, but showed some flashes. So we you know, there were some good things in there. The quarterbacks were about like I thought. There was some good and the bad. There was some inconsistency. I'll really expect, again, this time next week is when I really want to have a pretty good assessment and a pretty good judgment on where we are from a quarterback standpoint coming out of our first full scrimmage this time next Saturday. But obviously, Froholt and the offensive line is just a phenomenal leader. He might be one of the top leaders that I've ever been a part of as far as a team. But yeah, I mean, we had several guys stand out, and it's, again, I'm trying to learn their names. I do not want to come in here and call them by number, but when you make plays, you get to learn your name pretty quick, you know. So, but I'm proud of where they are.
Coach, D.L. Malone moved from the offensive line to the defensive line this offseason. What was the thought process behind that move?
I thought he was so. I think that was before we got here, I believe. Yeah, I think from that standpoint, it was for depth. My understanding was for depth. We're still leaving him there and going to make a decision on that. If we just depends on our depth in the D line right now, and see if we may wind up moving him back, because we're very thin in the offensive line right now. So, but yeah, that's not permanent though right now.
What's it looking like at center, and you're trying anybody else besides Clary and Hayes?
Yeah, those two guys have been. We're going to try to move some guys around, just some puzzle pieces. But right now, it's Clary, Ty, and and Hayes are the two main guys for us right now. Again, we're trying to rotate so many guys around, it's really kind of hard to see, but those are getting the two main reps. We're really inconsistent in our shotgun snaps. That's an area that sometimes you take for granted, but we got to get better than that. We put too many balls on the ground.
Tom?
Got two-part for you. Jared Cornelius, what have you seen from him, maybe on film and stuff, and in a leadership role? And then on the pitching and catching today, did anybody make any nice catches, any great throws?
Yeah, you know, with Jared, I really I love his leadership style. I've been in and out of the wide receiver meeting rooms. He's very vocal. He's extremely intelligent. That's been impressive. He's going through practice. We kept him out of contact, obviously, right now, but he's been able to get out there and go in green. Which is big for him. He's learning, and he's trying to teach the guys around him what he knows, and that's pretty special today. We had a couple really nice catches today. We had one right there to end practice in a 2-minute situation. I can't who. Mike Woods made a catch to win the 2-minute drill, true freshman, and so that was good to see Mike. I knew it was an 8 number on it. Everybody kind of gathered around him and celebrating right there. So, but it was good. They had to go the length of the field. We had two groups. The first group had an interception. Defense won that one, and the second group drove down, and Mike Woods caught the game winner. So it was good. Great competition. I will say that. Let me say this. There's incredible competition going on, man. They're having fun. They're competing against each other. There's winners and losers, and it's all about the finish. And that's kind of what this whole thing is about right now. So, yes, sir.
The newcomers, the freshmen you brought in at midterm, you just mentioned one of them. How have they adapted, and how are they doing?
They're doing extremely well. I'm really proud of these guys. Obviously, Isaiah's getting, being a big guy and being put in that interior defensive line against some experienced guys, Froholt and some of those guys on the offensive line. Sometimes you lose focus of those guys, but they're learning the system. They're following suit. John Scott does a great job with them. He and Steve Caldwell. They're not backing down just because they're true freshmen. But the great thing about these three guys that are coming in, they're all learning the same terminology the same time as a senior is. And so it's just the maturity level of them. Obviously, Mike Woods making the catch today. Mike's done some really good things. He's got great acceleration, great speed, and then Bumper Poole. Bumper was able to get in and get quite a few reps today. Again, same thing, learning the system. It's different from, these guys should be getting ready to go to prom. Instead they're out here in spring practice, and we got 500 people out here, and incredible atmosphere at practice was amazing today. So.
Well, what have you seen from the tight ends, and how are they picking up the new scheme?
Yeah, they're like everybody else right now. They're struggling with just the pace of play, and they're struggling with all the different movements that they have to be required to do, from formation adjustments to motions. So they're I always call them, they're slow blinking, and it's kind of they're seeing it, they're thinking it, and then they're moving. We want them to see it, move, and think on the run. So a lot of coaches are, Coach Lundy's doing the same thing. He's seeing it, and he's trying to help them out, but they're picking it up. But we knew it would be this way. It's the second day. We've got depth at tight end. They made several key catches today, which was huge. And I think they had over the first practice, I think they were targeted over 52% of the time. And so they're definitely running quite a bit right now. So.
Coach, a couple of players I wanted to ask you about. It looked like Jalen Merrick was getting reps with the first group. I couldn't tell because it was just drills, but and also Brandon Martin. You always talk about wanting to have a big wide receiver out there, and he's really your biggest guy. What have you seen from him so far?
Yeah, Brandon's doing some. For day 2, he's doing some good things. Again, we're trying to isolate him, get him in some one-on-one matchups. His biggest thing right now is being able to come off press coverage. And just understanding what we're asking of him, how the play will get back to him in a one-on-one situation. And in Jalen, yeah, Jalen's we're putting him in all different. He's running some with the 1s, some with the 2s, some with the 3s, and that's just by design. We want to see how these guys are going to respond regardless who's beside them, especially early on in spring. And after another week of it, then it'll start kind of narrowing down. Hopefully by next Thursday, going into that scrimmage, and we'll have a great idea of who we want to run with the ones, who we want to run with the twos, and then be able to mix them up for the scrimmage. So,
the practice field has the rubber composite and the natural grass. Do you have a preference? And if you do prefer the natural turf, will there be a push to change the playing surface in the stadium?
Well, let me see what my preference is. I love natural grass. That's just me. I mean, maybe that's just the high school coach in me. Man, I'm just worried about today. That's it. Worrying about what the next surface out here looks like, that's irrelevant to me. I just want to get through a practice and get better today. But I prefer. I'm a natural grass type of guy. I love being on the grass field. I think that's there's not nothing better than that in college football or football period. But that's me.
Coach, you've really gotten into the thick of things and personally demonstrated the type of energy level that you want the players to have. How have they responded to that on your part? Well,
it starts from the top. It starts from our staff. It starts from me. I mean, if I'm asking my coaches to do something and I'm not willing to do it, then I'm not going to get as much out of it. This is just who I am, though. I mean, some people like that, some people don't. This is me. You can come around here all the time. This is what we're about. This is what our program's about. And if you're going to coach for us, you're going to be about it too, or you're not going to coach for us. And same way, if you're going to play for us, then you're going to be about it too. And that's all I ask. Sometimes you got to act different than you feel. And so, hey, there may be days I don't feel like giving it out there, but I'm going to. And that's just who we are. I'm a high energy guy. I love being around out there. I love getting to know people, and I love coaching football. And I believe that it takes zero talent to give energy and hustle. And that's all we ask. And most teams across the country, if you can just continue giving the energy and continue playing hard, you're going to succeed as you push through. The only way you fail in this business is if you just don't get back up. And you're going to get knocked down. That's part of the business. But if you can get back up and sometimes act different than you feel, then you're going to be all right. And that's the message to these guys out here. It doesn't matter what's happened in the past. Well, it's a reminder. It's that rearview mirror. But, man, what's the energy level going to be today? What's it going to be tomorrow? That's what this thing's about. But it starts at the top with me.
What are some of the specific things about a game that has you excited about what he can bring to the Chase's defense? Yeah.
Again, see, I'm trying to learn his nickname too. Now I got his first name, but so I'm getting better there. His motor runs full wide open in walk through. I mean, I'm trying to slow him down and walk through. I said, man, just Sosa, slow down. Just get to where we're trying to accomplish. Very much respected among his peers. That's been another thing that's really stood out to me. Asking questions. He's not afraid to come and talk to you. He's been around and shared some things with me and wanted to talk about a few things. That's important. It takes an older guy to approach the head coach and just come and talk. That's been impressive. They all want the same thing. I had a big senior meeting this morning. They all want the same thing. They want to win. They want to be successful, and they're stepping in the right direction. And that's all. We're not going to get there tomorrow. We're not going to get there next week. But we're going to get there. How are we going to get there is by doing the little things one day at a time. And that's been my message to all our players. Yes, sir. But he's been great.
You've seen, I'm sure, all the cut-ups and tapes from last year, and now you've had a winter, and then you've had a couple of practices. I know that's still limited. What do you think the overall talent level for your team is?
I was asked that today by about 3 high school coaches. Are you surprised? Are you not surprised? Is it about what you expected, not what you expected? And, I think I would be doing doing the entire program an injustice to be able to make an assumption only being here a short period of time that I've been in. I think we've got to get faster. I do that. I think we've got to get bigger in some areas position-wise, and we got to become more consistent and how we approach things. So really, you know, from an overall talent standpoint, that's really hard to say. I think that we can always look to get better. Like I said, there's always two teams you're trying to coach in this league. It's always the one that you're trying to recruit and bring in those recruits. We had a huge number of them out there today, and in the current team that you have, and being able to create that balance there. But I think talent-wise, we're going to continue to get better. We're going to get better by developing them. You know, a lot of this is on coaching now. You know, we got to coach hard. We got to develop these guys. You get them here, it's not just throw your hands up. You got to develop guys. So, and then and then obviously continue to bring in the elite players across the country. I mean, you're the University of Arkansas. I mean, why not? I can't figure it out. Why not? This is what this program, this university, this state, man, they're so ready for this. And once we get it going, and we're going to get it going. I mean, it's all we've ever done is win. We're going to get it going, and once you do, it's going to take off. And so, you know, we want this to be popular. To wear the hog around, that's popular. And while it may not be as popular right now, you know, I'm okay with that. Oh, great. That's okay, because it will be. And you better get on the bandwagon now. And so is it going to take time? Absolutely. Everything's going to take some time. But and so how are we going to do it? We're going to by being the absolute best freaking press conference we can have right here today. And that's it. That's really, some of y'all think that's coach talk. And you guys that have been with me forever, that's just the way I am. It's just about right now being where our feet are and maximizing this moment right now. And being able to capture everything I do is about, there's some recruit out there watching right now. Man, he either wants to be a part of something popular, or he wants to go somewhere and make something popular. One of the two. That's what we deal with in recruiting. You either, man, I want to go where it's already popular, or I want to go and be the reason why it becomes popular. And so that's our philosophy, man. We want you to want to be here. If I got to beg you to be here, then we got issues. And so I'm excited. I'm extremely excited after day two. We're a long, long ways away from where we want to be and need to be, but that's okay because we got several days before we need to get there. So,
last two, Tom
yep.
and Trey.
Was your 2-minute stuff today ones versus ones? Do you like to do that?
Oh,
and what will your format be for the scrimmage stuff?
Yeah, I don't know if you call it ones on ones. It's what we think this is the best 11 today, and this best 11. It's all good on good. We are absolutely all about good on good, and it is wide open. And y'all heard me say it. It's full tilt boogie out there, man. It's live. Quarterback rules apply. We're not hitting the quarterback, and so it is a good on good situation. Next Saturday will be good on good, and so yeah, that's the way our 2 minute. It was a minute 40 on the clock. And offense was down by 5. A TD had to win it, and they had one timeout, and that's the way it ended. So it was great to see both sides having some success there.
Coach, just looking at the roster, there's a lot of swings in the weight, which I guess we expected to see. A lot of the wide receivers look like they dropped a good bit of weight. There was a guy that was 158, 166, 173. Is that a product of all the conditioning they've done, or is that just let's get them smaller, let's get them faster? And also I wanted to ask you on Saturday scrimmage, will you guys be going in the stadium for that?
We will not be in the stadium. The stadium's up pretty much off. We won't be in there probably till hopefully we get in there and we'll maybe get a couple scrimmages in before the season opens up. That's kind of the plans. So the spring, the stadium's out. It'll all be out here. And I think next week, one day we're on the one full scrimmage we're on the turf, one full scrimmage on the grass. We try to rotate it back and forth. And so, you know, wide receivers, you know, by design, some of them needed to lose weight, some of them needed to and not just the wide receivers, all of them, but, you know, really focusing hard on the nutrition. You know, we've got a kind of a saying as a wide receiver, the lighter you are, the faster you better run. And so, you know, some of these guys need to, you know, and they're really conscientious of how they're eating. And, I mean, as far as taking guys to the grocery store and teaching them how to buy food, I mean, that's just, it's simple things. But they'll continue to get in shape, and you know, we got quite a few receivers we're rotating around, and once we figure all this out, and we'll start getting the ball to them on time, and see what they can do with it in space. So I really, really, really thank you all for covering this program. And it's, believe me, it's not a day goes by that I don't appreciate that. and it's an honor and privilege to be the head football coach here. But I appreciate your attentive to details and covering this program, and look forward to building this program together and locking arms. So thank you very much, and go Hogs.